Hello, I'm John, and this is a product spotlight. Today we have a locomotive from Scaletrains to look at, so let's head over to the workbench and take a look. This is what we're looking at today. It's a Scaletrains AC4400CW model, HO scale. It comes with an additional parts bag with rotating bearing end caps, as well as the owner's manual, which is complete with user's quick start guide, all kinds of information you might need. One of the cool things about this is it's the new style of Scaletrains product manual that's just wide enough to fit in your back pocket if you want to carry it around while you're operating. All right, so here's the model out of the packaging, and another striking paint scheme. This is the Diabla paint scheme for Ferromex, number 4557. The AC4400CW has a ton of different variations on the Scaletrains website. The DCC ready version is $204.99, and then the DCC and sound equipped version, which is what this is, goes for $304.99. And as I was saying, there are so many AC4400s on the Scaletrains website, it would really behoove you to go take a look at what they have and see if they have what you're looking for. Plenty to choose from. The paint and markings on this model are about as good as it gets. There's not a single fuzzy line on it. All the printing and labels and everything are very well done. More importantly, it has nice straight handrails and a ton of photo etched grills and separately applied details. This is what Rivet counter models, as good as it gets. Looking at the detail around the cab, you can see that this model is equipped with these rock guards. They equip these on the real locomotives whenever there's a potential for there to be broken windows and such due to unruly people who like to throw things at trains. Luckily, at least so far in the US, we don't seem to have that problem too much, not that I'm aware of, but it must be a problem south of the border because a lot of the Ferromex locomotives are equipped with these. You can also see from this angle that there's plenty of separately applied grab iron detail. The sand filler hatches look really good. And then it has the sunshade equipped, and behind the rock guard there's a mirror, and just there's a lot to look at here. The detail around the pilot is equally impressive, with a bunch of different cables and a separately applied snowplow that has the barrier stripes. That's pretty cool. I don't know that I've ever seen the barrier stripes painted on a snowplow. Also, the stairwells have photo etched stairs that you can see through. Those are very, very well done. Looking from this angle, you can also see the uncoupling lever, little grabs on top of the plow, and then there are working ditch lights, which we'll look at later. Looking at the fireman side, you can see all kinds of really cool detail along the side of the engine, but more importantly, up under the sill, there's a whole bunch of conduits and piping and all kinds of interesting looking stuff. There's also a lot of great detail in the trucks, including chain detail back here on the rear fireman side truck, and just a lot of detail up here on the front truck. There's a lot to look at here. And one of the cool things, I mentioned this on all of the AC4400s that we've been looking at recently, which is a few. There's also the very interesting see-through grill back here. And inside that grill, if you look carefully, you can see that there's a fan housing for that radiator fan back there. And then the other thing to look at along the back there is the separately applied brake wheel. And here's a look at the rear of the model. You can see it also has the uncoupling lever here, separately applied grabs, all the cable and hose detail, as well as some spare knuckle holders back here attached to the pilot. And then also on the back, it has the separately applied very fine wire grabs and the metal etched stairwell as well. Looking at it from this angle, you can see the train line air hose, The spare knuckle holder also back here. And also you can see that the sand filler hatch in the back also looks pretty good. The roof of the model has a lot of great detail, including the photo-etched covers over the radiator fan. I've mentioned this on all the AC4400s. The smokestack is very deep. You can see down into the shell in there. The horn casting looks as good as a brass horn casting. I'm pretty sure it's plastic, but it's very good casting. And all of these little warning labels are legible with magnification. And finally, looking all the way at the front, you can see that it has a separately applied air conditioning unit on top of the cab. All right, now we'll run the model and see how it performs. All right, now I've changed angles because I want to be closer to the model so we can hear how it sounds without the sound on. Wow, that is really quiet. The slow speed control on this thing is amazing. All right then, time to take a look at the lights. The headlight is activated with F0 and it's directional. So with the locomotive in forward, the front headlight comes on. The ditch lights come on with F6. And just FYI, when you blow the horn, the ditch lights do not alternate flashing. When you activate the sound, a whole bunch of stuff comes on. So let's do that now. So you can see the number boards also came on over here. You can turn those off if you want to with the F14 key. Also, this ground light came on next to the truck here. And there's a service light or operating light down here next to the front walkway in between the stanchions up against the nose of the cab there. And then another light came on back here where the engineer would be stepping down along the walkway on his side of the engine. All right then, looking at the lights on the other side. Since the headlight's directional, when I put the engine in reverse, the rear headlight comes on. F6 isn't doing anything right now because we don't have any ditch lights back here on the rear of the model. When I turn on the sound, however, just like in the front, a bunch of other lights go on. So it might be a little hard to see, but in between these two stanchions here, you can see that there's a service light along this back walkway. And over to the left, you can see there's another step light over here. That's for the fireman side. And then under the fireman's front truck, we have another ground light that comes on with the sound. So there's plenty of lights to look at on this model. What really stands out to me about this particular model is that the running qualities are beyond anything I expected. It's a really quiet mechanism, and the slow speed capability on this was really unbelievable. Usually I can't get the engine to move on just number 1 on the throttle, but this one was actually moving at that slow of a speed. So great job, Scaletrains. Everything else about it, the paint and all the details, again, superb. So good job, and I'll see you all next time.